Welcome back, my students. Dr. Oogway here, and today I bring you Tectospinal Tract. This is the video third from the tracts. So far, we studied tracts can be ascending tracts, they can be descending tracts. Clearly, ascending tracts go towards the brain, while as descending tract start from the brain and they go down the spinal cord. Clearly, then we studied descending tracts are further of two types. Number first type is pyramidal tracts. Number second type is extrapyramidal tracts. Then we studied extrapyramidal tracts include rubrospinal tract, tectospinal tract, medial and lateral reticulospinal tract, olivospinal tract, and vestibulospinal tract. In the previous lecture, we studied rubrospinal tract. Now we are going to talk about tectospinal tract. So, what is a tectospinal tract? It is an extrapyramidal tract, which is a descending tract. That means it go down. It starts in the brain and go towards the spinal cord. So, this is the playlist of tracts. Moving forward, now let's begin with tectospinal tract. Tectospinal. So let's begin with tectospinal tract. Number first, origin. Number first, origin. As it is a descending tract, it starts in a brain. Let's see where it starts. Its axons arise from cell bodies. Its axons arise from cell bodies. These cell bodies are located in superior colliculus. Superior colliculus. The superior colliculus is a structure in midbrain. Midbrain. This is the theory part. Along with the theory, I will show you the diagram of the tectospinal tract, and at the end, I will show you the diagram given in the Gray's anatomy, because in the BDC there is no diagram of tectospinal tract. So let's begin. As I said, origin. Its axons arise from cell bodies located in the superior colliculus of midbrain. So I will draw midbrain. I will draw a structure midbrain because they arise from superior colliculus. So this right here is midbrain. Clearly, here is a structure that's called as superior colliculus. Superior colliculus, and this is midbrain. Midbrain. So from the superior colliculus, these are the tract. Origin of tectospinal tract. From the superior colliculus, tectospinal tract originates. Now after origin, the fibers cross to opposite side. The fibers cross to opposite side. This is the one half of midbrain, this is another half of midbrain, clearly, and this is the midline. This in red color, this is the midline. This is the midline. So now the fibers, they cross to the opposite side. They cross to the opposite side. This crossing is known as dorsal tegmental decussation. Opposite side, thus forming dorsal tegmental decussation in midbrain. So in the midbrain, these fibers cross to the opposite side, and this crossing is called a dorsal tegmental decussation. This dorsal tegmental decussation is in midbrain. Clearly, in the previous lecture, we talked about in the rubrospinal tract there is ventral tegmental decussation. So in rubrospinal tract there is ventral tegmental decussation, while in tectospinal tract there is dorsal tegmental decussation. In midbrain. Clearly, so this is an important point moving forward. So origin superior colliculus, then crossing to the opposite side. Then the fibers go down. Then fibers go down. Clearly, along the midline. Along the midline. You know this red line, it is the midline. Clearly, so close to the midline, these fibers go down. These fibers go down. So now these fibers, they go down. Clearly. Now from the brainstem, these fibers go to pons, then the fibers go to medulla. Clear? Now this is the midbrain. Now I will draw pons. This structure that I made is pons. The structure that I made is pons. So fibers go down the pons. Clear? So now fibers go down the pons, then they go to medulla. Then they go to medulla. Now I will draw the medulla. So this is medulla. This is medulla. Now fibers go down the medulla. Clear? Do you remember these fibers go down along the midline? Close to the midline. Close to the midline. This is the midline. Now after the medulla, the fibers enter. These axons enter. This tectospinal tract enter in spinal cord. In spinal cord. But which part of spinal cord? Anterior white column. Anterior white column of spinal cord. Anterior white column of spinal cord. So now I will draw the spinal cord. So this is the spinal cord. So this is the spinal cord. After pons, they enter the medulla. Then after the medulla, these tectospinal tract, they enter the spinal cord. This is the spinal cord. In the spinal cord, we know there is gray matter and white matter. So this part right here, this highlighted portion is the gray matter. So this is the gray matter. This is the gray matter. While as this is white matter. Clearly, they go into white matter, white column of spinal cord, but anterior. This part right here, this is the this part right here is the anterior white column. This part right here is the lateral white column. This is the posterior white column of one half. Similarly, of the other half. This is the anterior white column of other half. This is the lateral white column of other half, and this is the posterior white column of other half. So the fibers now go down. They enter. They enter the anterior white column. They enter the anterior white column. They don't cross. They enter the anterior white column of the same side. Clear? Then after they enter the anterior white column of the same side, now fibers go to anterior horn cells. Anterior now fibers synapse with anterior horn cells. Clearly, this is the posterior aspect of spinal cord. This is the anterior aspect of spinal cord. This shaded portion is the and this is the gray matter. This part of gray matter is anterior horn. This part of gray matter is the posterior horn of one half. Similarly, of the other half, this is the anterior horn of the one half, and this is the anterior gray matter of the other half. Clearly, now the fibers enter the anterior horn cells. They synapse with the anterior horn cells. Now fibers go to the anterior horn cells. After they go to the anterior horn cells, the fibers move out. So this is the tectospinal tract. As it is extrapyramidal tract, which is a descending tract. That means it starts in the brain. It starts in the superior colliculus, then goes down the pons, then goes down the medulla, then enters into the spinal cord, where anterior white column, then anterior horn cells, gray matter, then they move out. So they start up and go down. So these are descending tracts. So these are descending tracts. So this is all about the tectospinal tract. Now at the end, one more point: function of tectospinal tract. Function of tectospinal tract. What is the function? It mediates reflex movements. Reflex movements. It mediates reflex movements of head and neck in response to visual stimulus. In response to visual stimulus. So whenever there is visual stimulus, in response to that, it mediates tectospinal tract mediates movement of head and neck. So this is all about the tectospinal tract. As you saw, is a descending tract. It goes down. Now I will show you the diagram of the tectospinal tract from the Gray's anatomy. From the Gray's anatomy, as you can see, this is the midbrain clearly, and from the superior colliculus it originates. Then it moves to the opposite side along that's called dorsal tegmental decussation. Then it goes down the pons clearly. Then it goes down the medulla. Then it enters the anterior white column of the spinal cord. Then from there it enters the anterior horn cells. That's the gray matter. Then and from there it moves out of the spinal cord. This is the tectospinal tract from Crossman A, neuroanatomy clearly. So from the Gray's anatomy. So this is the diagram of the tectospinal tract. It is a descending tract. It starts in the brain, midbrain, clearly, and goes down towards the spinal cord. Thank you very much. Keep revising. Your Dr. Oogway here. I'll be back with other lectures as well.